One of the key benefits of joining a startup is that you get to learn to think like a founder and become much more employable as a result of that. What do I mean? In my startup, one of the things I'm most proud of is I encourage people to think full stack. It's not like I give you a problem, you solve it. I want you to participate in setting the constraints. I want you to participate in designing the solution and understanding what we're solving for, which is motivated by a customer need. And so you have to work backwards from given constraints as a company and our resources and our timelines. How do you actually solve their problem? And so this oftentimes goes into just a lot of things that people aren't used to thinking about if they've just only worked at a big company. This means actually validating with the customer themselves and generating hypotheses, and then realizing that actually there are different constraints we should consider, and that something that I thought mattered because it's technically interesting does not, and therefore we should solve a different way. An example is in the early days, we want to add streaming because nobody wants to wait for a large language model to generate all your code. It's going to be very boring, so stream the code. But then that actually introduced a lot of complications. Not that it's a hard technical problem, but it just inflates the complexity of our code base. And so instead, why don't you have a GIF of code streaming? It's not like people are inspecting the code. And so you kind of validate that that's actually not, even though it would be nice to have, it's not a need to have. And so from that, you're able to distill very different choices for your solution. That's just a very specific example, but it just goes to show if you join a startup, you will be able to learn to think that way on a daily basis, and that's how you can make the best contribution. And as a result, you just become, one, trained to actually think like a founder. You can found something yourself, but two, I think that makes you just a better teammate, better employee, better problem solver, and ready for management. So join a startup in the best way early in your career to learn so much. Learn as much as you can.